You know, the world feels like it's on a knife's edge right now, doesn't it? Well, there's one number out there that tells a huge story about that fear and tension. We are seeing a seismic shift in what the world is prioritizing, and it's leading to a massive, and I mean massive, surge in defense spending.
And when I say massive, I mean it's just staggering. Global military spending has absolutely skyrocketed past any record we've ever seen. We're now talking about more than $2 trillion a year. To give you some perspective, that's more money than the entire economic output of almost any single country on Earth. It's a truly mind-boggling figure. And look, this isn't your classic Cold War standoff with just a couple of superpowers bulking up. Not at all. This is a genuinely global thing. We're seeing nations all across the board, from Europe all the way to Asia, making some really significant, and in some cases, truly historic increases to their military budgets.
Which of course brings us to the big one. The most important question of all, why? Why is this happening on such a huge scale? And why right now? What's going on?
Well, this surge isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's really a direct result of a perfect storm of global events. You've got the conflict and the deep, profound instability it's caused in Ukraine. You have the ongoing turmoil simmering in the Middle East. And then there are these huge power shifts playing out all across Asia. On top of all that, you've got NATO members who are now pushing hard to meet much higher spending goals, which just adds more fuel to this fire.
So with all this money flying around, it's kicked off what you could call the great spending debate. And it forces us to ask a really fundamental question. Is all of this spending a necessary evil to keep us safe in a dangerous world? Or is it a huge, dangerous gamble with our future? On one side, you have proponents who argue that, hey, the world is just a more dangerous place, and a strong military is the only real deterrent we have. They see this as a totally rational and necessary response to some very real threats. But then, on the other side, critics are looking at this very differently. They argue that pouring trillions into weapons is pulling desperately needed money away from things like education and healthcare. They're also saying it doesn't even make us safer, and even worse, could kick off a brand new global arms race, a vicious cycle where fear just keeps feeding more fear.
But you know what? This whole debate isn't just about the money. The price tag is huge, sure, but beyond the budget, there are these other hidden costs, these unseen dangers that we absolutely have to talk about. So what are they? What are these other consequences, the ones lurking just beneath the surface that we aren't talking about nearly enough?
All right, two really critical risks stand out. First, there's a serious lack of transparency. In some regimes, this military buildup is happening completely in secret with zero public input. That means there's no democratic oversight. The very people whose lives are on the line have absolutely no say in what's happening. The second risk, well, this one is frankly terrifying. It's the risk of a simple misunderstanding. With more advanced weapons in more hands all around the world, the chance of an accidental conflict, one that could become catastrophic in a hurry, just keeps going up and up.
When you peel back all the layers here, what this all really comes down to is something pretty fundamental. It's about the incredible price we are all paying in fear. And it's about the choice that fear is forcing us to make, a choice between building up our weapons or building up our trust and cooperation. And that choice is becoming crystal clear, almost painfully so. It's being framed as weapons over welfare. It feels like governments are being forced to prioritize national security, while all these other urgent needs, things that affect our daily well-being, get pushed to the back burner. And here it is. This is the heart of the issue. Fear has become the world's dominant currency. It's the main thing driving global decisions and setting priorities. It's pushing aside trust, it's pushing aside diplomacy, the very things that are supposed to build real, lasting security. We are paying a very high price for our collective inability to trust each other. Which brings us to this final, really sobering thought. For now, despite all the risks and the immense cost, it really does seem like fear is winning. And the question that leaves for all of us is, what kind of world are we building with that currency?